Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Linda. I'm Linda. You know I love a good conversation, so let's have one. Today, I have two fabulous young ladies in our studio, and I can't wait to have a conversation with them. Chit Chatters, would you welcome to our show Zanisha Z. Davis? Hey, Z.
Hey.
And then I also have with me the beautiful Adrian A.J. Small.
Hi.
Hey, AJ. Aren't they lovely? I mean, they're just making me light up in here.
Thank you.
I can't wait to talk to you all because I think this is going to be such an inspiring conversation. And I don't know if I told you, but we call our audience the Chit Chatters because we just chit chat, you know. So Z, I want to start with you.
Okay.
Let's talk about your career and how long you've been in the industry.
So I have been a makeup artist. I was a makeup artist for 10 years.
Okay.
And so I just kind of navigated that space during that time, and I've been able to achieve some really awesome things, meet some great people.
Okay.
So I've been able to do celebrities, but more.
Really?
Yes. So,
okay. Can you name drop a couple?
Okay. Well,
Just a couple. Just name drop.
so SWV.
Get
Yes. The Weekend of These. I've also been able to work with Jasmine Sullivan.
Really?
And if you watch the show on WGN Network, Underground, I was able to work with that cast as well.
Okay, we got a celebrity on Conversations with Linda. You are the celebrity for us. Okay, awesome. So come on, AJ, tell us about you.
So I am still currently a colorist, and
Okay.
I am based in Bartlett, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my last year behind the chair.
Okay, tell me about a colorist.
So I focus and specialize in hair color alone.
Okay.
So my clients come into the salon. If they want anything done, it's going to be hair color based. So
Okay.
that is my focus. And so
Okay.
that's when
You're an
instead of
expert.
saying, yes, I am.
Okay.
So instead of saying I'm a hairstylist or a cosmetologist, I despise the word beautician, but in that realm, I specifically say colorist so that people understand that when they come to me, it's going to be on a hair color matter.
Because a bad color job can wreck your life for a minute. Because you got to wait.
Yes, you have to wait. And then also, you know, when it comes to women and their hair, that's a confidence thing. And so we have to make sure that, you know, everything about it is on point. And the hair color is going to be the thing that pops before the style will. So
Absolutely.
I like to focus on that.
And when I've seen women get it wrong and everybody is telling them, do you know your hair is great? Like they don't know.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
Right. Well,
they
you know,
don't.
till you get outside
Yes.
in the sun. So I'm always talking to our chit chatters about dreaming. That's just my passion, to help people to pursue their dreams and know that dreams can come true. So at what age did you, AJ, start dreaming, or did you start dreaming? How did you get into this colorist?
Tell the story, girl.
Literally has always been it for me. There was never a time. And what's even crazy, I tell this part of a story, is that when my mom went into labor with me, instead of going to the hospital, she went to the hair salon.
Get out of here.
And so she got a relaxer and a rinse, water broken and everything, and she went and got her hair done. So I was inhaling
you
the
were
salon
destined
before
I
was even here. And so then she went to the hospital and had me. And so by the time I was 12, I was at home taking clients, braiding hair at 12.
Really?
I was in college in my dorm doing hair, did college, and still ended up going to cosmetology school and saying, you know, that wasn't my route anyway. Like I literally was supposed to be behind the chair, making everybody beautiful with their hair.
Now, did anybody else in your family do
Nobody.
Nobody. That was just...
I am the cosmetologist in the family. And I have cousins that, you know, they braid and they have the talent, but nobody has made it a career.
Wow.
I'm the only one made it.
And you went to college and still went to cosmetology school?
Yes. Well, I got pregnant at 19 with my daughter, my oldest daughter. And then it was just like, okay, well, we got to shift. And although I finished online and then still decided, well, cosmetology was what I wanted to do anyway. And
That
so,
is so cool.
I went ahead and did cosmetology school, college at the same time, worked 2 jobs.
Oh my
had
goodness.
my daughter.
Oh, you every woman.
Yeah.
Huh?
that's why I'm ready to start working.
Yeah, every woman. So what about you, Z? How did all of this get started for you?
So my intention was never to be a makeup artist.
Okay.
I never played in my mom's makeup. I never played in the tools or anything.
Wow.
So I graduated college, but at the same time, I was also modeling locally.
Mm.
And so when I modeled, that was my first introduction to, man, I have to put some makeup on.
Okay.
And I got messed up one too many times.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened.
Sometimes, it's a crisis
It was.
that births something
It
new
was
in us.
very much so a crisis, and I just vowed to myself that nobody else would ever make me look terrible again. And so I started learning how to do my own.
Okay.
And as I learned, some of the other young ladies that I was modeling with would ask me, "Hey, can you do my eyes? Can you,
Wow.
fix this for me?" And I was like, "Okay." Until one show,
Uh-huh.
I saw a makeup artist, God bless her heart. She was doing makeup and she was not doing a great job.
Mhm.
And something came over me and said, if she can get paid for that, then I know that I can get paid too. And it was the next day, and that was 10 years ago. But it was the next day that I started studying. I wanted to learn about skin. What foundation should I buy? How do I actually jump into this? And so even though I graduated from college, I never used my degrees. I made a decision not to really apply for jobs just because I knew the statistics of how many college students graduate but would not get a job in their field.
Wow.
And I said, I feel defeated already. So I'm just going to go my own route. I started working a couple of different jobs, but I was also using that time to build my clientele.
Okay.
And so when I finally built my clientele and I started calculating the numbers, I was like, oh, okay, I can sustain my life by doing this.
I hear
and I
you.
went full time.
Amazing. I love to hear journeys such as yours because it helps us to understand how destiny happens.
Yes.
One, there's not just one formula.
Yeah.
And you always knew, crisis took you there.
It carried me.
But what I love is the courage that you both demonstrated in going for it.
Yeah.
I think people sometimes spend a lifetime afraid to just go for it.
Yes.
Go for what's living inside of you. So, I don't know if y'all caught it, but both of you were saying, you said I was, and you're like, yeah. So the elephant in the room is that these careers, this leg of your journey is ending.
Yes.
Okay, how does that happen? Because you all are not, you think of retiring, you think of people 65 or
That's
something.
right. Now, listen, we didn't say we were retiring with a 401k. We just said retired.
Okay, but the fact that you can, tell me about that. I'll start with you, AJ.
So I have been behind the chair for 16 years.
Okay.
And so there had always been a point where education was really big for me.
Okay.
Now you were asking about my family as far as people being in the cosmetology field. They literally, there is not a soul that is not either in education, whether they're principal, teacher, professor, or they're in ministry.
Okay.
And so we have, the deacons, the preachers.
Yeah.
My mother is ordained. My father was ordained.
Wow.
And so it's something about speaking to people and teaching people, no matter what the element is in my blood.
Okay.
And so Z did push me because I had been trying to not retire. I wanted to, when I had my son, he's 4. The plan was to retire and not go back once I had him.
Okay.
But then I loved it so much. I was like, well, let me go ahead and go back. I'm gonna stick with my clients. My clients, your clients will reel you in and hold
That's
you.
true.
That chokehold he was talking about earlier, they will keep you in that chokehold.
I will hunt my stylist down.
And they do.
Yeah.
And so it got to the point where I wanted to pivot into online education. And so now, instead of, being behind the chair with my clients, I want to teach other stylists why I love, hair color as much as I do. And then the science behind it and all of that, because when it comes to hair color, everybody cannot do it. And it's more
Mhm.
so of an understanding thing. And so, you know, getting those aha moments and understanding why they're doing what they're doing. A lot of stylists nowadays do not know why they're doing what they're doing with hair color. And so I felt as though, okay, well, let me go ahead. And you was talking about fear. Fear kept me from, you know, launching an online academy. And it was like, nah, sis, today.
Come on.
Today.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
You need that accountability
I
part.
did because I sat on it for 2 years and I was just like, nobody want to learn from me, not in that capacity. And so then it got to the point where God was like, ma'am, it's time. And so when I made the announcement that this year would be my last year behind the chair, it was definitely freeing. And so that's how I knew that it was the right decision, because I didn't feel bad about it.
And devastating for your clients.
Oh, extremely. And people still, you know, I still get messages and texts. They're like, are you sure? Like, you just playing today, right? So tomorrow, you know, you're going to be back. But no, I'm done. And it's one of those things where it's just time to move on into something different in your life. And it has nothing to do with me not loving what I do behind the chair. I absolutely love it, love my clients, but it's just time for the pivot. And so the pivot is going to be into education when it comes to other stuff.
Write that down. That's probably going to be my next book. Time for the pivot. Okay. Time for the pivot. I love it.
Yes.
So you're going to do an online academy.
I have an online.
You already have it. Okay.
It's called Hair Color Concepts Academy.
Hair color. I love it.
Hair Color Concepts Academy. And between the academy, it's an 8-week online education program. And so I like that it's online because I can reach stylists everywhere. And so it's not like I'm limited to people that can only come to Memphis or only in Memphis, because honestly, the last two we launched in December. So far I have served 22 stylists.
Wow.
And it's been extremely good. I'm so excited about it, but it just gives me an opportunity to touch other people that I would have never touched had I not gotten into the online world. So,
and as the word gets out,
absolutely,
it'll go. Yeah, I can see it.
It's definitely new, but as I grow, it's going to grow, and I'm excited about that growth.
I'm excited for you. That feels right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now, Yuzi, tell me, what was your journey to retirement?
So my journey just felt, I got to a point where I started feeling burnt out.
Okay.
And so for me, again, the root was, I never set out to do makeup. It just kind of happened to me.
Okay.
And so with that, I started to feel a lack of creativity. I started to feel exhausted.
Okay.
And things started to feel like a job.
Yeah.
And God spoke to me very clearly in 2018 and said, switch how you're making your money. Now, he didn't give me no details, you know.
Yeah.
He
will leave out the details.
He didn't share the instructions, but he did. He kept pulling and tugging on me to switch how I was making my money. And so I just started thinking about, what could I do? Now, I, in my soul, I'm gifted to teach. I didn't realize how gifted I was to teach, but I really do have a passion for sharing and teaching.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, I had taught plenty of classes in person.
Okay.
Hosted several classes there, but I had never gotten into the digital space. And I saw that that's where things were going online. And so I started to come up with, like, what can I do? Can I sell DVDs? I'm like, no, because we ain't even we don't have no DVD player no more. So I gotta figure out a way that would be better than YouTube. And so originally I created a platform and a university called Better Than YouTube University. But as we grew, I changed the name to Beauty for Us University because I didn't want to fight, YouTube
right
in the copyright world. So in that, I found a lot of freedom where I didn't have to hustle. I was tired of hustling.
Okay.
When you are a freelancer, and freelancer just means that you are scouting for your clients, which means that you have to kill everything that you eat.
Oh,
if
girl,
I'm sick,
you're going deep. Yes.
If I'm sick, I can't work.
Right.
So I don't eat.
Yep.
I have to. Hopefully, I'm managing and stewarding my finances well enough for me to have a sick day. But
so, okay, wait a minute. I got to slow this down. I know Shauna's over there probably just losing control here. So the hustle is when you have to kill
everything
to
that you
eat. Okay. And you wanted to get out of the hustle.
Right.
Nothing wrong with having a hustle.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But there is and exhaustion that comes behind
Mhm.
chasing. And also there was a spirit of validation that I was fighting that was interrupting who I was.
Y'all know she's talking my language now. She's getting into the psychology of this. You know, you all are really have taken your time to process. This is beautiful. Keep going, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I'm doing clients, I'm sitting there like once I get done. Now I know good and well I did a good job. Because you walked in here one way and you're leaving another. So I know I did a great job, but as the artist, I'm sitting like panting, waiting for your approval. So to have 10 years of waiting for someone else's approval, it really does damage on how you show up. And how you give information. You second guess yourself. Is this okay? Do people really want this? All those things, like Adrian said, she was questioning, you know, do people really want to learn this from me? Like those little things and nuances, they come from constantly having somebody to say, I don't like this, or I don't do, you know, there's a kind of a give and take that can be damaging. And so my last day of doing makeup, I took my last client, and I could literally in the spirit just hear chains hitting the floor.
Wow.
Like it was just an echo and a sound of chains hitting the floor.
And that's the freedom you felt too.
Well, I ain't felt it yet, but I'm getting it.
I mean, you get it. Yeah. But I heard you say when you finally made the announcement, you felt the freedom.
Yeah. So that level of freedom is something that is really invaluable. You know, you can't really put a price on that. And as much as, you know, I love my clients, like I've built so many relationships. We cried together, prayed together, laughed together, kiki together. You know, I'm watching my clients come to me for prom, go off to college, come back to me for graduation, turn around, get married, have that first baby. So to be a part of that journey with them, and then I have some clients, some of my clients who are not married yet, they're like, hey, you coming out of retirement for when I get married, right? Because there's no way, you know. So that part is really, really challenging. Because I am kind of stretching that relationship that I built with them. And then makeup is a safe space. It's a very sensitive space, you know, and it takes some very intentionality to make it a safe space. And so I created a safe space for women to come and be vulnerable and feel beautiful and also just be okay with their insecurities as well. So I definitely am going to miss that, but that freedom is something that I can't let anybody temper with.
I feel you. Listen, we are deep now. I know you thought we were going to just be talking about makeup and hair color, but we have gone deep into our souls. And so we're going to take a commercial break and take a deep breath, and we'll be right back with Z and AJ. Welcome back from commercial break. Listen, I know you are being inspired by this conversation as much as I am. And it's intriguing that I have these two fabulous young ladies here who are experts in their field and they're retiring. And but it's really a transition.
Yes.
A transition that really reflects a transformation. For both of them. Y'all are talking my language. They did it. And I think that where we left off, of both of you talking about this freedom, so often women do not give themselves permission to transition and transform. So I am just loving this about you all. I mean, and so young. I mean, I keep saying so young. Y'all look young.
Thank you.
Where did that come from? How did you give yourself permission? Have you always been a free spirit?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I feel like in my head I am.
Okay.
But it doesn't come out until I feel as though the time it has hit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's not one of those things where it's just like, well, I'm just going to do it just for the sake of doing it.
Mhm.
I literally had to have the additional validation because, like I
Okay.
said, Z was the person that just literally had to say, this is what we need to do and you need to do. This is how you need to do
Mhm.
it. Just do it.
Uh-huh.
Like literally just do it. So it got to the point where I didn't even tell my husband I was
Wow.
retiring. Social media found out before my husband did.
Girl,
So
how did
I didn't
that
want to
go?
he just looked at me, he said, so we retiring, huh? Like he saw it and it was just like, so about that. It's another year down the road, but yeah, that's what's happening. And so he just wanted to make sure that the plan was made. He
Okay.
just wanted to make sure that, you know, everything that was thoroughly thought out. And
Sure.
I did make sure that everything was thought out, but it got to the point where, you know, that was the first thing. Well, you know what? I take that back. That was not the first thing where I just jumped out. It was, I moved to Fort Lauderdale for a job.
Okay.
Had an interview. 2 weeks later, I packed up my life, my child, and I moved on a whim.
So that was your first.
That was my
okay.
first, yeah. And then that was also the scariest thing that I had ever done because I had no family. But it was also one of those things that put the fire underneath me to be okay with making the jumps.
Okay.
And so again, when it comes down to being heavily, you know, in your faith, and you know that God is going to have everything lined up for you. And like Z said, when he speaks to you and says it's time to pivot, it's time to get it done. I got everything lined up for you. You just got to move.
Yeah.
And so when it got to the point where I was just like, okay, God, I'm moving, God opened it up and it has been amazing since. And so, no, I haven't always been a free spirit in that aspect. I'm very scary.
Okay.
But then once I do it, it's like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's been my input on all of it.
And you know, I think I have found that once you make that first leap,
that's it. That's
Everything
all it takes.
Yeah,
It
because-
snowballs from there.
and I tell people that if you can just remember the success or what happened when the last thing God did,
Mhm.
it really gives you the
Mhm.
confidence to say, oh yeah, I can believe him for this.
Absolutely.
If he did that
Absolutely.
and got me through it, I can believe him for this.
And then it's just like, God, I remember when.
Yeah.
So I know you got better
Absolutely.
coming. So let's do this. What you waiting on? Because I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it definitely is that.
Yeah. Okay. So Z, where did that come from you in that? I mean, you went deep. You didn't even give me a chance to ask the
I'm
deep
sorry.
questions. You went just deep. Where did that depth come from? Where you just process the validation that you were receiving from your client? I don't think we realize that. You know, I'm in ministry, and so I understand that wondering. You know, did I do a good job? Did I get, you know, the claps you're trying to
What you looking
determine
for,
did the
yes.
house go up,
Mhm.
you know, or so
Mhm.
where did that come from with you processing all of that?
So I started my therapy journey back in 2019, I believe.
Okay.
And so I started therapy because I had done as much as I could on my own, and I just needed to explore a different avenue to kind of break some generational curses and really be challenged, because I have beautiful friends, but they all look at me like, Z, you know what to do.
Okay.
You know, but nobody's challenging, well, did you think about this, or
Yeah.
what about this perspective? So
Mhm.
therapy just really introduced me to being more self-aware and also developing a new vocabulary for how I feel.
Okay,
And-
girl. All right. She has been therapized. That's what we call it in the field. She has been therapized. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you say, you know, you have beautiful friends. You challenged them because you said she was the one
She's definitely
holding your
the
feet to the
challenger,
fire,
yes.
but you needed somebody.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I needed that someone to challenge my perspective
Mhm.
and also teach me some tools to understand what it was that I was feeling.
Mhm.
There's one saying that a lot of people say, I feel some kind of way.
Mhm.
And that's not a feeling.
Right.
But to be able to verbalize, I feel lonely, I feel rejected, I feel
Girl, yes.
threatened, I
Yeah.
feel afraid. That helps you to identify, hey, this is what I feel, and then this is what I can do about it.
Yeah.
And so since I've let go of that phrase, I've been
Uh-huh.
able to just kind of
Good for
pinpoint,
you.
I know, right?
Y'all get rid of
I feel
some kind of way.
Mhm.
And I will say it to people to help them even acknowledge you
There's
feel in
some
some kind of way, because we don't even want to acknowledge we are
Yeah.
feeling anything,
Yeah.
right? Because it makes people feel weak,
Uncomfortable,
right?
yeah.
And when I was when I was a mental health therapist, we would keep a chart on the wall with feeling words
Yeah.
because people just didn't have the vocabulary. They
Yeah.
didn't have the words.
Yeah.
So it's so good that you
Yeah.
can do that. I love it. I love it. And so Z challenged you.
Yes.
How wonderful that is to have a girlfriend, a sister friend that would say, "Oh, sis, come on, let's get going." Because we are so accustomed to having competition amongst women.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I'm seeing you get a little,
Don't you start crying, girl.
but your eyelashes won't come out.
They won't.
'Cause,
They're
okay,
extensions.
so they are extensions, y'all. I have been learning off camera about eyelashes because I'm gonna try these eyelashes one more time. Y'all know y'all followed me that day. I was riding in the car and my eyelashes was going like this against my glasses. They had a photo shoot and they had eyelashes on me. But she has on extensions, so she's getting a little teary. And that's okay because we cry on conversation.
That's right.
But that's really meaningful.
I don't have I have a lot of female friends that support me.
Yeah,
I have a ton of support. I
Mhm.
have women that I know I can call
sure.
for some, but that one right there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God knew what he was doing when he put
Oh,
that one
wow.
in my life for real.
Girl,
Oh wow.
stop.
I know, right?
I did not
I know,
intend on doing this.
I know, right?
Especially at this point of
Yeah.
my life. You know what I mean? Because it's like I've always been very self-sufficient. Like very.
Okay.
I'm very scared to
Having a
ask people
child
for
at
help.
19.
I had a daughter at
Got that.
19. I always had to literally figure it out on my own.
Yeah,
So I'm always scared to ask for help.
yeah.
Then it got to the point where it was just like when she was talking about being drained and burnt out and
Yeah.
things like that. And I had nobody to talk
Mhm.
through, the things that I needed that could relate.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't have other people that were, my friends that could help
Sure.
me, but I didn't have anybody that could relate to what it
Mhm.
was that one, I was trying to do, and then two, where I was trying to go, and then three, where I was in that moment.
Yeah.
And she was all of that.
Wow.
And so it always worked out because people always be like, y'all are so close and y'all are just like this. That's why, because it's like we always have those moments where when I need it,
yeah. Right there.
got that one right there. That
I
one right
love
there.
it. I
Yeah.
love
So it definitely helps. There has never been a competition moment as females ever.
Mhm, mhm.
And we are so much alike that it's scary.
Oh, wow.
But at the same time, she's the one, even though I'm 5 years older, she's the one that is on me more than I'm on her. Like she's the mama in the group.
Wow, wow. Okay, wait a minute. I feel a tear. Let me pull that back up in there.
And
Okay.
what's funny, I know a lot of people don't know this. We call each other twins, so people really think that we're
That we're
sisters.
sisters.
But we do share the same birthday.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my! How did y'all meet?
She was modeling, and I was one of the hairstylists, and I did her hair. And that was
Oh,
what,
wow.
11, 12 years
That
ago.
was- Yep.
And so, yeah, we met
Before I even started.
before she
doing
started
it.
doing makeup. And I was one of the backstage hairstylists doing all the models' hair. And that's how we met.
Mhm.
She was the model, one of the models.
And then see, we didn't talk after that.
Yeah.
It wasn't built after that. It was like a couple of years later. And
We
we
ended
would
up on
kind of
set.
chit chat
Yeah.
on
On social media. We always ended up on the same set when she did start doing makeup.
Oh, yeah.
I would be one of the hairstylists, she would be one of the makeup artists, and it was like we always saw each other from that, and again through social media.
Then y'all invited me to lunch. I thought it was like a gang meetup or something.
Yeah, one of my other
I was
friends.
like, what's
And
up?
then it just literally went from there. But we invited her because we got one of our other friends. We got to the point where we were just really wanting to have sit down moments and just like, hey, what do you have going on in your life? What do you need help with? Let's help you map this out. And you were talking about competition.
I love
It got to the point where we knew that we needed each other. And so we wanted to we were doing lunches with every week
Mhm.
just to make sure that everybody was in order with what they were trying to get done.
Mhm.
And then she and I just kind of
We end up gelling more than jail could
everything.
That
jail.
happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
And so it's just been like I can't get rid of her. I don't want to get rid of her.
And you better not.
You know, I preached a message recently, and it was on Ruth and Naomi, and I said in that message that God gives us divine assistance and destiny helpers.
Yes.
You know, people who are there for our destiny.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what That's what you
Yes.
guys are in each other's lives. I think that is awesome.
Yep.
And we need that.
We do.
I think that people who try to do it alone end
I
up
was that person.
in depression,
Yeah.
because you're dealing with the challenge of your destiny,
Right.
but you're also dealing with such loneliness.
Yes.
Because you were saying she gets you.
Mhm.
She I mean on these other levels.
Yes.
And loneliness is huge
Yeah.
when you're successful,
Right.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is so true, and I know it to be true because even in a phase where I've always been doing something different, hosting an empowerment brunch, creating some kind of entrepreneurs workshop, things outside of makeup that's beyond the brush.
Mhm.
So
Oh, beyond the
those-
brush. Girl, you just spitting it out. Beyond the brush. Write a book on that. Beyond the brush.
I will.
Yes.
So-
a devotional. I see it.
Ooh.
Beyond the brush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, take that in. Okay. So when I was doing those things, I didn't see anybody else doing it.
Mhm.
I just had an idea and took the courage that I could muster up to do those things, but there was no one that I could look to as an example or no one that I can call and say, hey, what do you think about this or bounce this? There were my friends,
Mhm.
but like Adrian mentioned, there was not a person who could relate. So in that lonely space, you don't know you're lonely at the time.
Yeah.
Because you're grinding, you're
Right,
working, you're
right,
focused,
right.
you're hustling. But when you start to get drained
Mhm.
and you realize that there's nobody else in that feeling but you,
Yeah.
then you realize like, wow, like
Right.
this sucks. This is
Mhm.
tough.
Yeah.
And so when I noticed that in a lot of my friends where they are, I know that we're all transitioning in some kind of way. It doesn't make us one better than the other.
Right.
It's just mastering the transition. I know what questions to ask. I know what consolation is needed at that time because I was once there.
Yeah.
And so I want them to feel how I never wanted to feel.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I keep saying all this, but really, I love it. I love the chemistry between the two of you. I love the energy that you all just exude, and it's an authentic thing. Sometimes people, especially, in your industry and being beautiful and all of that, there's this intention to act like I just got it all together.
well, that is not the case.
You got one, yeah.
That is not the case.
at all.
But you all are allowing your vulnerability to come to the surface. And I believe that's what ministers to people the most, is when you can be vulnerable.
Yes.
And, so many women are relating to what you're saying. You may not be in the industry that they're in. You may not be in the beauty, makeup, hair color, any of that, but you can identify with being somewhere, being in a space where you want something different.
Mhm.
You're feeling burned out, or you're feeling as if I've done as much of this as I want to do. And these ladies are sharing with us this freedom journey. That's exciting.
It's
It's
very
exciting.
Very
Yes.
exciting. It absolutely is.
Because let's talk about what's next. Let's talk. Well, wait a minute. Before I go to what's next, I better take a commercial break, because we get going and I forget that I need to pay the bills. So we're gonna take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Z and AJ, and we'll just keep going. Welcome back with Conversations with Linda. I am here with these two beautiful women who are just giving us so much inspiration and so much empowerment. And we ended on the question of what's next. What's next for you, AJ?
So what's next is we already discussed my online hair color academy.
Right.
So Hair Color Concepts Academy. That's booming, and I'm
Okay, so can any stylist?
So that is for stylists and cosmetology students who are in the beginner to intermediate portion of their career.
Okay.
So when it comes to hair color.
Okay.
So this isn't anything that's for stylists who are advanced in hair color, anything like that. I'm teaching foundational.
Foundational.
Yeah, but it's to the point where you can definitely master the foundational level and look as if you're advanced. And so that's what I love about, the academy, is because the things that I teach, although they're on the foundational level, you can take them, you can create them, turn them into your own, and get very creative with them. So I don't teach specific techniques. I don't teach a look. Let me say that. I don't teach a look. You know how people come to you and you hand your stylist of your phone and you're like, I want this picture right here. I'm not going to teach you a look, but what I will do is teach you how to get to that look and then how to take that look and make it yours. And so also as far as the color theory portion of it and the science behind hair color.
Because that really is a science.
That's the biggest part to color theory, whether it's with hair color or makeup. Color theory is something that is extremely important. And a lot of the things that I've heard the most is that formulating hair color is the thing that gets a lot of my stylists when it comes to their pain points with color. And so being able to teach the foundation portion of color theory so that they can formulate anything and not just giving them a formula is the thing that I'm proud of the most.
Oh, that's
so
good.
Between that and then my nonprofit, which is the Adrienne Smile Foundation, we have been serving for 4 years. And then that is for teens ages 13 through 19 who are interested in any aspect of the beauty industry. And so what we do with that though is that we have a 5-day week-long camp. We call it our Girlpreneur Beauty Camp. And it's all hands-on. And so anything beauty industry related that you can think of, we allow them to do.
Those girls love that.
Love it. Yeah. We also do the business workshops because there is nothing behind the chair if you don't have everything beyond, beyond it, taken care of. So we make sure that they have all of that. And then we do a competition day that teaches them how to pitch themselves. So it's one of those things. Yes, it's one of those things where, we want you to be able to speak for yourself when it comes to, your business and the things that you want, being able to pitch to investors and all of that. But with that competition, we give away cosmetology, any type of beauty school scholarships.
Now tell them how much you've
to date, we have given away almost $100,000 in beauty school scholarships.
Really?
Yes. Last summer was our biggest awarding that we were able to do. And last summer we gave away $65,000 in beauty school scholarships. And so that's the thing that I'm most proud of because I wanted to be able to have a platform for teens that I did not have. I want to catch them before they go to cosmetology school, whether they want to do hair, nails, makeup, aesthetics. We cover everything. And so our girls are able to receive scholarships in all of those fields and go completely free. And so that was also the biggest reason why I wanted to retire so that I could focus on the nonprofit as well as the academy.
She's doing the work of the Lord with the teens.
Because them teen girls, baby, let me tell you,
the work of the Lord.
It's some work.
So they don't have to just sit on the porch and
do hair. And that's another
old school. That's what girls used to do.
That was me. That was me at 12, braiding my mama's co-worker's hair in the house. But that was the thing about it is that when my girls receive their scholarships, they go to school immediately. So they're 16 and 17 fully licensed. Legally fully licensed. Yes. So they're able to go to school online. So they're doing high school during the day. They're getting their cosmetology in the evening.
That is life changing.
Exactly.
That is life changing.
Exactly. And so I'm obsessed with the process of being able to see them grow and being able to take leaps that I was not able to take at their age. And so that's my what's next. So every July,
a huge what's
next. Every July we have our 5-day camp. And so this year we are looking to serve 100 teens. We normally cap at 50. So we've done 50 every year, but this year our goal is to get 100 teen girls in the building so that we can be able to serve them and get these scholarships.
I love so how much is it?
So for each girl, it's $350 for all 5 days. So we serve them lunch every day. They get all of their supplies with that. And it covers the 5 days. It's from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So mamas, even if, you need somewhere for them to go July 11th through the 15th.
Absolutely.
And they're interested in the beauty industry, then the AdrienneSmileFoundation.org is definitely the place where they can sign up.
And I'm going to send a girl from New Life. I'm going to make sure. Yes. I love that. I think that is awesome because we've got to do it for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Women, we've got to do it. We've got to break some glass ceilings for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Okay, so Z, what's the big next for you?
You know, everybody keeps asking me that. They're like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm doing it.
Because you're really already retired. From
Yes.
Transition.
So, yes.
Uh-huh.
So I'm already retired. But before I did that, I started Beauty for Us University, which is the online makeup school for everyday Black women who want to learn how to do their makeup with confidence.
Okay.
And so with that,
Wait a minute. I can go online and learn this?
wherever you are.
Okay. Sign me up. Okay. Go ahead.
So inside of Beauty for Us University, I take them step by step so they can learn how to create a look and not just create the look that they want, but understand why they're doing what they're doing because they've been on YouTube already.
Right.
They've taken one-on-one makeup lessons already and they can't remember because
That's
they
me.
learned what to
That's
do
me.
and not why to do.
Why? That
So
is so me.
I have to kind of break down what's going on, and that helps them to realize, like, oh, it shouldn't go here because of this, or hey, I should use this color because of this feature, you know. So that makes them a lot more confident on the beauty aisle and when they get home in the mirror.
Yes, I love it. And we got to talk about this little beauty right here.
I know.
We gotta
That's
talk
my
about this
baby.
Come on, let me get it. Cause y'all, let me tell you something. We're on YouTube as well, doing a tutorial, but I gotta show you this.
So as I have been teaching, I was teaching way before the online space. I would always give my students a resource, say, hey, go and get these items. So by the time you get to class, you're prepared, and then you can get better results and be excited about those results because you're already prepared. But the one challenge that I had, the biggest challenge I had was sending them to find their brushes. And that right there gave me a headache and them a headache.
Right.
And so I actually have been working on these brushes for a very long time, but something always stopped me. It was always either fear or doubt or language barrier, you know, with manufacturers. So now that they are here, there are 3 very important things that separate these brushes from all of those that are on the shelf now.
Okay.
1, they are going to be numbered in order.
Listen, y'all. So there's words on here. I hope they can come in on the camera because there's words and numbers on here.
Yeah.
That I just think is ingenious.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
So they're numbered in order. So that you don't have to guess your first step, second step, what I'm supposed to do next. Should this be used for this? Then 2, they are named very descriptively after your next step. That way you're not confused. And then finally, which is really important to me, is the way that they're shaped. The reason why I had to send my students all over the place, because I know the importance of how the brush should be shaped in order to get the result that you want. You want a flawless blend and you want it done faster, you need a brush that's shaped correctly. And my 10 years of knowledge knows how to do that with these brushes. So I'm really proud of them, and people can visit matterbrushes.com.
Sis, you matter. You matter. Listen, I think this is going to find its way to Oprah's favorite things. And it has certainly found its way to Dr. Linda's favorite thing.
Yes.
Okay? Because who knew that this one right here, that I have just left in the pack because I never knew what to do with it. And it says, this is this is E6. Y'all see this with the little Sharpie? E6, that's all right? And it's the 6th step.
That's right.
And it is apply gel liner. Get out of here. Listen, where have you been all my makeup life? All my makeup life. And what do you call this?
The spoolie.
Did y'all know this was a spoolie? Who knew that? Where were we supposed to learn that? Who was going to tell us that?
Listen, I don't know.
We didn't know.
But here I am. The person that was supposed to
I'm
tell
sorry.
you.
I think this is so ingenious. Okay.
Thank you.
And so if you're like me and you've gotten as a gift a makeup set with all of the brushes, and like me, I thought, okay, I'll use these 4, and when they are bad, I'll just use the next ones because that's all I could think of. I had no idea how to use them. Yeah. You need this in your life. I promise you, it is going to be in mind after today. And I want you to buy it, invest, give it as a gift to someone else, because we are going to get her on Oprah. We're going to get her in Macy's and Dillard's and all of those other places, because we're going to support you.
Thank you.
I think this is ingenious. Y'all know
Thank
how I feel about something when I really love it. I just, I go all out. And then you're going to see my makeup go to another level.
I know that's right.
Because I'm getting ready to learn how to do this and use the correct brush and all that. Sis, you matter. You
That's
matter. That's
right.
all I'm saying. Y'all are so awesome.
Thank
I
you.
love it. And I can't wait to just see where you go, like your foundation, how many girls, when you, I think sometimes we feel, I've talked about Oprah, but all of us can be our own Oprah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
She's just inspired us.
Yeah.
So when I heard you talk about your foundation, thinking about her girls over in Africa, you got your
Mhm.
girls right here.
Yes.
I love that. And I am, the sky is not the limit. Heaven is the limit.
Yes.
Heaven.
That's right. I have this concept, this mantra that I have adopted, that God just wants to surprise us.
Mhm.
And in the natural, when we are being surprised, we have to be blindfolded. Somebody tells us what to wear. They tell us what time to be there, what time to wait. Wait right here. But
Right.
if we're not there, if we don't follow the instructions of the surprise, then we end up messing up
We
the
miss
surprise.
it. That's it.
And I feel like God, he works with us the same way, that he's always trying to surprise us. We're going to go in blindfolded every time, trying to feel our way through.
I love that
But
analogy.
if we are where we're supposed to be at the time he told us to be there, regardless of how dark it looks, how crazy it looks, how
Absolutely.
lost we are, we don't know what's going on. All we know is I'm supposed to be right here at this time because God said so. Then everything else will fall in line. And he just wants to give us the best surprise all the time, even
He
when stuff
does.
don't go right.
Yeah, because
it's still a part of the plan.
it's still a part of the plan, and it's a matter of trust.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you just have to trust
Yes.
that he has your best interest
Yeah.
at heart. So that plays into that. Even when things don't go right,
Yeah.
there is a plan at work.
Yeah.
Always.
All the time.
So, okay, I wouldn't be who I am on Conversations. My chit chatters have to know. Let's talk about the love life just real quick. So I heard you say you're married.
I am.
How long you been married?
It'll be 6 years in August.
Okay,
We've
girl.
been together 16 years.
I love it when people say, this is your generation. Say, we've been married X number of years and
But baby,
together.
those
count.
other years count.
It's like, but in dog years.
And they matter, right?
That is
Yes.
awesome. And so y'all decided to get married.
Yes, we don't have that much time.
You gotta come back on the show for
Yes,
that.
yes. But yeah, after 10 years, he became a firefighter. And then once he got his career where he wanted it, that's when he, decided, okay, I'm ready. I can be your husband
Okay.
now. And so I have my daughter who is 16, and then we had our son a year after being married. His name is
Oh.
Dallas. He's 4.
Dallas. I'm from Dallas. That means something
Yes,
here.
so my daughter Michaela is 16 and my son Dallas is 4. So I have that nice big gap because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
good with being one and done.
Uh-huh.
And then you get married and it's like
You gotta
get
have
his
one.
name some
Yeah,
kids.
gotta get
gotta get his
Alright.
name some kids. But and so that's how my son came along. And so
Well, I gotta have you back on the show because you gotta talk about that piece of, love, raising a daughter that's not his. I mean, that's a whole thing that we can talk about.
It's a
all
whole
right?
thing, and it's a good thing though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want women to be empowered to know that it can work.
Yes.
It can happen. Okay, girl. Come
Well,
on.
yeah, I have a boo. We've been together.
Okay, got it. Boom.
We've been together on and off for about 7 years.
Wait a minute, on and off. Wait a
You
minute.
know, all the years count.
Yeah.
That's why I just said 16. It's been
Yeah.
on and off.
They
but yeah.
count. On and off does count, but no, we're actively talking about marriage and continuing this journey of life together. We have desires for children. and
Okay.
Just really, really big dreams. But he's super supportive.
Okay.
He is one of my biggest cheerleaders.
Because I was going to ask that, how, is there an intimidation factor with you all being such successful women, beautiful women, all of that? with these men.
Not at all.
Okay.
My husband, it's one of those things. This is funny that you asked that too, because I was cleaning out my closet, long overdue, one day, and I found the paper from one of the homework assignments from our counseling, our premarital counseling sessions. And, you know, he had to do his homework, I had to do mine. And one of the questions was, what is your spouse's biggest dream? And his answer, that I never read this paper, but his answer was to travel the world to teach.
Oh,
And I
wow.
never knew he paid that much attention, because my husband is extremely quiet.
So
But
quiet.
He is one of those
Really?
where he's very observant.
Okay.
He's a listener.
Uh-huh.
He may not say nothing,
Uh-huh.
but he got you.
Uh-huh.
And so it doesn't surprise him that everything that I'm doing
Yeah.
is actually happening, because
Wow.
since we were in our 20s, because he took all my 20s.
Uh,
So since we were in our
that man
20s,
took her 20s. I know it, honey.
since we first met in our 20s, that's what I've always wanted to do, was to, you know, just travel the world and teach and do everything when it came down to hair. And for him to put that as an answer,
Wow.
he knows that, you know, whatever it is that I do in that realm,
Mhm.
he gonna have to be okay with it, because he
Okay.
know that that's what it is. But he's very supportive.
That
He may
is-
not say nothing,
Uh-huh.
but he gonna show up with a card and some wine and some flowers and be like, "I'm proud of you," and then he gonna go watch his game. That's how he is.
That's his love
That's his
language.
love language. Yeah,
That's his love
he's
language.
definitely. I've had to learn to be okay with it, because
Yeah.
I'm one. I want you to hoop and holler and be
Uh-huh.
excited, and you
Uh-huh.
know that's that
Yeah.
affirmation thing. But I had to learn that because of his calm,
Sure.
the way that he is, he's going to show you that he loves you.
Uh-huh.
He's going to show you that he's proud of you in his own way.
Right.
And it's not going to be exactly how I want to, but he's definitely very proud.
Okay.
He's
You can
definitely
get in
very
the mirror
supportive.
and hoop and holler for yourself.
But sometimes you want him to do it.
I know it. I'm
not gonna
36
lie
years.
about
I'm
that.
36 years in, child. Whatever I need, I get in the mirror. I know. Well, and you got Z over here.
I know, I got you. I got you, girl. I can't rub you like he rubbed you.
No, leave that to him. Leave that to him. But so is he intimidated? How has he been by your success?
I think it's more motivating. I think we motivate each other.
Okay.
And so for him, he's an entrepreneur as well.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of big dreams, and he really challenges me to dream bigger.
Okay.
Some stuff that comes out of his mouth, I'm just like, oh wait, hold on, I wasn't ready.
Uh-huh,
I wasn't
uh-huh.
ready.
Uh-huh.
But his dreams are so large, it challenges my dreams, and I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe not 100,000, maybe 100 million. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that it becomes really fun, and we allow each other to do us. So
Mhm.
he does him, and I do me, and then we contribute. You know, when timing is timing is when the timing is right, we contribute, but we are very, very supportive of each other. And we both just want to see each other win at the end
Oh
of the
yeah,
day.
that is it.
Yeah.
In marriage, that's what it's all about.
And plus, that's my friend.
Yes.
Like,
but
I like him.
That's what I
That's
tell
it.
people. I actually like my husband.
that's what matters.
Yes.
It matters. And wanting to see each other win.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That you're doing it, because if it's all about you winning and your
Yeah.
partner not winning,
Absolutely.
then you got this win-loss thing that doesn't work in any relationship,
Right.
not husband and wife. You know,
Right.
it needs to be a win-win.
Yeah.
That is so key. And so y'all got love, and you've got career and all of that, and you putting your money away,
That's
doing
right.
some of that too. Y'all make sure
That's
you do
right.
some of that.
Sometimes
yes.
we spend a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
We're
Sometimes-
foodies. I think our
Yeah.
biggest
eat.
junk is we eat.
I was gonna
And
ask
we
that.
were
Okay, I
ready
know
to
we gotta
travel
go, but I
anyway.
gotta ask that. Okay, just indulge me. What do you do for fun? Foodie?
We like to go out to eat. Well, I just like I do a lot for fun.
Okay.
But the biggest things is I be ready for a good vacation and some good food.
Okay, good vacation.
Mhm.
Same.
I love live music. So
Okay.
we go and listen to live music all the time. I also love solo traveling as well.
Mhm.
Solo travel.
By myself.
Really? You go, big
myself.
girl. You go. I love
appreciate
it.
it. I have not.
You go, big girl. And self-care is what?
Key.
But see, that's normal for me, so I don't see that as a fun thing.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
I tell
yeah.
people all the time that if my hair not done, my nails gonna be done.
I
my
got
lashes
you.
gonna be done.
Okay.
But my hair may be in a ponytail, even as a hairstylist.
Uh-huh.
But that's normal for me. So I don't see self-care as a relaxing thing anymore because
Uh-huh.
I'm just doing it.
Well, that version of self.
That version of self-care,
Okay,
right?
okay.
But yeah, I can definitely, how she travels alone, I
Uh-huh.
can definitely go eat alone.
Go eat alone. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you do you've gone to therapy? What do you do for real self-care?
So I actually have like my own little worksheet where there are 6 different cups. So these,
Confidence cups.
yeah. So one is a confidence cup. The other categories might be home. It could be business. It could be connection. My connection
Okay.
cup. So I'm pulling from these things that actually pour into me and not drain me. So one thing that I absolutely love is hosting cousin night. So that's a big self-care thing for me.
Cousin night.
So I realized that as cousins, we grow up together,
Uh-huh.
probably share the same bathwater.
Absolutely. All of that. All of that.
Mhm.
But then life happens
Sure.
and we separate, whether we go off to college and we have kids. And I remember sitting in my cousin's baby shower just looking at her like, I do not know this girl. Like that's my baby, but I don't know her.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to have that feeling again. So inviting them over for a meal, we kick it, we chill, we either do karaoke, we've made homemade spaghetti from scratch.
Okay.
Just creating those
cousin
memories.
night.
That's one of the biggest self-care things for me, but just figuring out what's going to pour into me. It could be painting, you know.
Okay.
It could be any of those things. So self-care for me is more than nails, hair, because I don't enjoy that either.
I don't either.
I don't
Yeah,
do it.
I know.
But it's
Yeah,
not
that's
self-care.
that's maintenance for
Yeah.
just.
And when you got kids, it's a different.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a different.
Fill your cup. Fill your cups. Find out what fills your cups. Listen, it has been a wonderful,
Fantastic.
enjoyable
Yes.
evening talking to these beautiful ladies. Don't forget what they've got going on, AJ and Z. We're going to make sure that we have that information for you. Get these brushes, ladies, so that we can get our makeup right. And so, you all, this is the end of our season. We're going to take a break. Don't y'all all cry at one time. No, we're going to take a break and we'll come back. I think, how long is it going to be? 30 days, 1 month. Okay, yeah, right. 1 month is all I get. And y'all know what I'm gonna be doing while I'm on that month break. I'm gonna be celebrating my 55th birthday. Yay! And I'm gonna be walking across that stage to be officially Dr. Linda.
Come on, Doctor.
Same day, birthday and graduation on the same day. Thank you. So take the month off, live, love, and be happy, and we'll see you in June. Night.